Hello everybody. R-Truth lost the 24/7 championship. Natalya Tamina gained the women's tag team championships. Angel Garza's gained his word, and New Day's lost their minds. I'm Casualeann. Come with me. So in this episode of Raw Talk from the 17th, we start by Kevin Patrick apologizing to R-Truth for causing him to lose his 24/7 championship. He was interviewing him when Akira Tozawa came in and covered him. It was passionate, but they kept running the interview back like again and again and again. And he promised to help him win it back. Why? You can tell that Truth really cares because he allows viewers to get deeper into the life behind the 24/7 title. Like his character is deeply embedded into it at this moment. He talks about not sleeping. He doesn't sleep. He has to constantly defend his title. He's constantly looking over his shoulder, and that he was okay with that until now. It's a joke title, we know. Crash Holly with the hardcore title made certain that that comedic element was emphasized, and now R-Truth with the same. But this segment shows that it was something that he cares about. He does a great job of his energy being a little lower on that day because obviously he's usually extremely energetic, but he makes it a point to not be his normal radiant self on this evening. So they run down what happened on Raw, and they talk about Kofi Kingston beating Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley after that with interference from Drew McIntyre. I still have no idea why they're still feuding, but here we are. Asuka actually defeated Charlotte Flair. Yes, please. Don't diminish Asuka, even if she's not being foregrounded right now. I was never happier to be wrong about Backlash. I am so glad that they're keeping Rhea going. And I think that Asuka should stay some kind of contender. Do not let her fade into the background. Damian Priest won the Lumberjack match, and Morrison dedicated their match to The Miz, who was eaten by lumber zombies. Zomberjacks? Zomberlies? But unfortunately was legitimately injured during the match, had a tear of his ACL. Hopefully it's not as bad as feared and he'll be able to return soon. They announced the guests for Raw Talk, and they're going to be the women's tag team champions, Natalya and Tamina, the New Day, and Angel Garza. And while I thought it was sweet for Kevin Patrick to be genuinely concerned about R-Truth, the fact that his interviewing kind of did cause R-Truth to lose the championship, it was nice, but what on earth is the state of journalism right now? Like, what is WWE doing with them? Like, do they want the lines to be blurred? Like, in which the correspondents are kind of like props or just personalities? Are they part of the storylines now? Like, other than Raw Talk and Talking Smack being, what I would argue, among the 40 most underrated minutes of the programming week, like, does any of this broadcast partiality matter in any way? I don't know for sure. After that segment, we get ads, one of them being the WWE Network Icons promo for Rob Van Dam. Looking forward to seeing that, just like I am about any other documentary that comes up. So segment 2 is with Natalya and Tamina, the new women's tag team champions, or at least new as far as appearances on Raw interviews go. Natalya says that they're still kind of processing what's going on. She makes the statement again about them being statement makers, bone breakers, and title takers. Again, she talks about destiny always chasing. She talks about the Hart dynasty and the Samoan dynasty, almost as if Samoans are one large family, which I got what she was saying, but it was a little strange because, again, the Harts are one family, but you have many great Samoan wrestling dynasties. It's not just the Anawais, and it's not just Tamina and the Snookas. Like, it was a little strange, but you could tell that her intent was pure. Everything was well articulated. They're talking about the love and support that was poured out. Then Kevin Patrick asks them about what's going on with Alexa, because they actually appeared in the Alexa's playground with her and Lily. And they're saying that she like smelled like mothballs, and they're talking about her talking about the strange things that Lily likes to do. And also, interestingly enough, that Reginald has been in Tamina's DMs. Anytime there's a mess, somehow Reginald is amongst it. I'm not gonna say he causes it, but when there's a mess, somehow he's there. Anyhow, so they get ready to go, and R-Truth tells Tamina to tell Reggie I said hi, or tell Reggie I said what's up. And Tamina just is kind of like staring him down as she walks away, and he tells Natalya she needs counseling. But this was far and away better than the Passion Talking Smack promo, but it wasn't quite as good as the Talking Smack one from the 15th. Overall, it made a lot of sense. We got more from Tamina and Natalya than we did from the Passion promo. I think it's wonderful, again, that they did win the titles, and hopefully the fans cheering them and a subsequent push will reinvigorate these titles and maybe even alter their perspective from which they're viewed, at least for a while. So we get another commercial break, and then segment 3 is with Angel Garza, and he's got his Too True turquoise on with a waistcoat and a $9 million smile. He's been getting a little more attention lately for his feud against Drew Gulak with the shoving roses in places thing. They ask, what do you have against Drew Gulak? And he just says that he was taught to be a man of his word. And they ask, like, what did he do to you? And he says that he was just trying to stand on his path. He doesn't really explain what that is. He notes that when the bell rings, they will see a new Angel Garza. I'll be happy to see more of him. I hope that they actually do something with regard to the storylines, but here we are. I kind of liked the idea of him possibly taking Naya away from Reginald. I don't know why they scrapped it, but it at least gave him something to do. But they call him the Lethal Lothario. He asks them if they want some roses, and both KP and Truth are like, nah, we're good. He asks some questions of R-Truth as well, like, are you a man of your word also? And you see something of an interview streak in Angel. I would love to see him fill in one day for R-Truth. It would, again, at least give him something to do. But there wasn't a ton to go on at the moment. If they could bring him back when there's more character progression, when he's won more matches, and there's something for the fans to kind of lock on to, then that would be wonderful. So we get another commercial break, and then the final segment was with the New Day. And that's Kofi, Xavier, and their new third member, which is Kofi's ice block, because it was gigantic. This segment I had a hard time with, so you're gonna see me refer to my notes even more than I usually do, because there was just a lot that I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. Kofi says that he watches film and that he studies, and so Truth took the full Nelson, took the Hurt Lock from Bobby Lashley so that Kofi didn't have to, and he emphasizes that he just pinned the WWE champion. And he asks, like, since Bobby Lashley became champion, how many people have pinned him? One. And that when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And when the pitch comes, you have to hit it out the park. There's a lot to it. If you love the New Day, you can go back and watch it if you like. But they get like pretty rowdy, and they start with like the hip thrusts, and he talks about becoming the new WWE champion, which, hey, I'm all for. But it got outrageous. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if watching it I've been this big a combination of slightly amused and horrified in my entire life. I mean, I absolutely love the New Day. They are nothing if not multifaceted, but things like this just horrified me. They were literally on the table. These are talented, hardworking, intellectually powerful brothers. You even get a taste of it in the scenes when Xavier Woods is interviewing with Kevin Patrick while R-Truth is away. You see it on his YouTube channel. Why do they have to reduce themselves to this? And I know others may not see it that way, and maybe I'm just nostalgic or what-ifing about the proto New Day, the one that was going to be the new Nation of Domination. Xavier Woods in the white suit, glasses, talking about not asking for opportunities anymore but taking them. Where are those men? Does anyone remember that? Let me know down in the comments. I'm going to answer my own question and say that I think they're still in there. But it's just a pity that we don't get to see them every week on television. Ferguson happened, and the whole architecture of the stable crumbled. And this is what was erected in its place. Again, I love them. They are incredible in and out of the ring, but even for an over-the-top act, this was over the top. And it was how the show ended, so there was nothing to soften the memory of it. It was literally the last thing you saw. The man who pinned Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley in the same night. This is Y2J potentially kind of bragging rights, except without titles involved. That man thrusting, then him on top of the table with the copyright in the bottom corner. That is the last thing we saw of the show. And just for my part, as a black woman, it was hard to watch. Especially when considering it was the same night as Bobby Lashley with the new Ho Train I'm sorry, his gifts from MVP. I wonder sometimes how many writers of color are actually on WWE staff. And I don't mean like just classified as of color, but I mean with the perspective of not passing as anything but of color. The color that subjects you to this sort of humiliation and stupor, the likes of which only others of your color would understand. I have to believe that a more grounded perspective would at least give them more material to work with, or allow them to consider things in another way, or allow them to be more aware of their audience. But I know the New Day made the best of a bad situation. A bad gimmick that came from a tragedy, and WWE's tone deafness in the wake of that tragedy. They'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. I wished it didn't have to come to this. For a must-watch segment, just like Truth took the Nelson, so Kofi didn't have to, I'm going to take this Raw Talk in its entirety so you don't have to. I can't recommend a must-watch segment. There just wasn't one this week you needed to see. My rating is 2 out of 5. The best thing on it was the back and forth between Kevin Patrick and R-Truth about the 24/7 title, with Natalya and Tamina's Destiny work as a close second. But again, that wasn't quite as good as their Talking Smack promo. So if you want to see one with them as champions, watch that one on the 15th, not this one from the 17th. But after Kevin Patrick and R-Truth and the women's tag team champions, it was really downhill from there. So better luck next week. That was Raw Talk from May 17th. Am I being a bit too harsh about the New Day? Are there aspects I'm just not getting? Like, let me know down in the comments, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure that you get notifications. Thank you all, as always, for watching. I'll see you soon.